that on that certificate I had from the Scottish Rite, I had this wonderful title, Sublime Prince of the Royal Secret. And what does that mean? Well, the funny thing is, if you go up to a Mason and you ask a given Mason who's a 32nd degree Mason, what's the royal secret? You know what they're going to say? I don't know. I even asked them this. I was myself a 32nd degree Mason, and they knew it. So it wasn't like they were trying to keep something from someone who wasn't worthy of this honor to know this. And I said, what's the royal secret? And they'd say, I don't have a clue. I don't know. Well, tonight, you're going to find out. You're going to learn something that only 1 in 100 Masons knows anything about. And it's a horrible secret. It's a disgusting secret. There's nothing royal about it. But it's why it is kept so carefully guarded within the Masonic hierarchy.
What is the history of Freemasonry?
The Freemasons come into being from a tradition which is both from the ancient craftsmen. They used to work within the churches, so the people who knew how to construct churches were the Masons. They transmitted this craft, and on top of that, the knowledge to build those churches was a sacred knowledge, and that knowledge was given to them by the Knights Templars, that were the ones who traveled far east and conquered the land of Jerusalem and made sure that for a long time the Vatican was in control of the Holy Land.
The Knights Templar, some people believe, evolved, if you want to use the term, evolved into what we know now as current modern-day Freemasonry.
And this following information is from a book called The Origin of Masonry. The mysterious force was established in 43 AD, and it started when a counselor to King Herod Agrippa came to him and complained that the followers of Jesus had a mysterious force, and that they should establish their own mysterious force to combat this Christian mysterious force. And the purpose of this group was to attack the teachings of Jesus and in order to preserve Judaism. King Herod Agrippa said, quote, "We will use the hammer because it was used to nail Jesus' hands and feet. Every session will be opened by striking the hammer 3 times," end quote. And you notice that judges have the hammer to bring order to the court. King Herod Agrippa said, quote, "We will make degrees. These will be 33, symbolizing the age of the impostor." And on November the 43 AD, the first official session was held in the first temple of Jerusalem, which was a basement in the palace of King Herod Agrippa. The meeting of the mysterious force was always held in the temple. That was the name, the temple. And in 1717, modern Freemasonry changed it to the name of Lodge.
There are different orders, different types of organizations in Freemasonry.
So the Mason begins his Masonic career with the first 3 degrees, the 3 degrees of the Blue Lodge: Entered Apprentice, Fellow Craft, and Master Mason. If he wishes, he can stop Masonry after he's finished those first 3 degrees and call himself a Master Mason of the Blue Lodge. If he wishes, he can continue up the York Rite ladder or the Scottish Rite ladder. In the York Rite, there are another 10 degrees in the York Rite, and if he completes those extra 10, he can become and call himself a Knights Templar Mason. And if he goes up the Scottish Rite ladder, there are another 30 degrees in the Scottish Rite. And basically, once he completes the blue degrees, he can buy the 4th to 32nd degree of the Scottish Rite if he has enough money. It's basically that.
They have degrees that they go through, levels that they go through these here.
I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason. And so I found someone, I was sponsored into the Masons, and I became a 1st, 2nd, 3rd degree Mason. I went through the York Rite, and this is my certificate, being ordained, consecrated as a bishop in the Gnostic Catholic Church. And you'll notice a couple of other things that might be important here. One is that you'll notice that this is the ancient and primitive rite of Memphis and Mizraim. Now, this is in French, and I apologize for that. The certificate is in my book, Lucifer Dethroned, if you want to see it and try and translate it. Now, the rite of Memphis and Mizraim is the rite of Masonry that a lot of Masons aren't aware even exists. And this rite has 97 degrees. And I was raised to the 90th degree within that. If you'll notice down here, it says I was given the title of Grand Master of the Order of the Temple. That's 90th degree. And at the same time, I was made the Auxiliary Bishop of Milwaukee, of the Gnostic Catholic Church. I went through the Scottish Rite as well, so I basically covered all the branches of Masonry that there are to do. And then I went even beyond that. But this is my certificate as a sublime prince of the royal secret. That's the title, 32nd degree Mason. See, Masons love big sounding titles. I mean, they just think that's the greatest thing, you know. They have titles like perfect master, most perfect master, perfect excellent master, you know. I mean, you know, like these people have a self-esteem problem, right? Anyway.
As you advance through these levels of Freemasonry, you become more enlightened. All the secrets they begin to reveal to you, and the longer you're in it, the more you're in it, the harder it is to get out of it. You become a slave, and you become in bondage to this organization. If you try to get out of it, they may send you death threats. They may try to hinder your business or your job and cause you to fail. They have power. Because I'm going to reveal where their power comes from, and I think you already know. When you reach the 32nd degree, you get to become a Shriner.
And the Shriners are a special group of Masons made up of 32nd and 33rd degree Scottish Rite Masons and 13th degree or Knights Templar York Rite Masons. The Shriners claim to be a charitable organization, yet the facts prove that isn't the case.
The mystic shrine, first of all, it's all Islamic. You swear on the Quran, you swear in the name of Allah, the God of my forefathers, the God of the Muslim and the Muhammadan. That's how the oath is sworn. And I'm sorry, Allah is not my God, and He's not the God of my forefathers, one way or the other. And in addition to that, there's a whole bunch of ungodly tomfoolery that I don't have time to even get into.
But a Shriner is one of these people who wears these little red hats. It may have some funny symbols on it.
This is me as a Shriner. That was taken about 1980. That was my official shrine portrait, which they took as part of my initiation.
In my country, where I live, they have these funny hats with feathers, big long, looks like pheasant feathers. In the United States, the hats are a little different looking, but they're always red. Ain't that pretty hat? Do you see this over here? It's a knife, and there's the half moon with the star.
This is a symbol of the mystic shrine. And you'll notice here several important things. First of all, this is the scimitar, or the distinctive sword of Islam. Now, the scimitar is a very sharp blade that's basically used to behead infidels. You see, Muslims had a very unique way of soul winning. They'd come up to someone and they would say, I want you to become a Muslim. Will you submit to Allah? And if you said no, they'd cut your head off. They got a lot of converts that way. Today, instead of using scimitars, they tend to blow people up a lot.